Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are in for a treat today. We have our friends in from Forever Balboa Park, Connie Matsui, who is just an absolute delight and a community icon, and everything she touches turns to gold in this aspect of it. And I really appreciate Connie coming back on. As you remember, Connie, we were on when you were doing the merger, correct?
Yes, that's right. And we're bringing two great organizations devoted to the park together.
That sounds good. Connie's joined by her colleague. Connie's a trustee for Forever Balboa Park, joined by her colleague, Janessa Wheeler, annual Giving and Stewardship Specialist for Forever Balboa Park. How you doing, Janessa?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm happy to be here.
Well, thanks for coming in the studio. As our listeners know, that every so often I'm honored to have a guest co-host. Today is no different. Usually someone who's a pretty strong community advocate and leader. And today I got Erin Tanner going to be sitting next to me, taking us home. How you doing there, Erin?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Well, thrilled to have you here. And, of course, my longtime 21-year friend, the inimitable Neville Villamoria, Senior VP of Community and Public Relations for Mission Federal Credit Union. And, Neville, I'm so glad that, one, we're honored to have you folks as our sponsor of Spotlight on the Community Show, but a better treat is every so often you come in and join us on these interviews.
It's always a pleasure, particularly today.
I know exactly. Talk a little real quickly about your affiliation.
Well, I've known Connie forever.
Right.
I value and respect her highly. And
of course.
When she reaches out, I usually answer the call, even though my rubber band hand comes up fairly regularly for other things too. In this case, it was around this opportunity to affirm the Spark Awards that are coming up on March 29th. And Connie and Janessa will tell you a little bit more about what that's all about. But I served on the nomination committee, so I had the privilege of vetting all the amazing nominations that came in for the various awards that are going to be supported. And as a result, I'm here to support the event and hopefully get people turned on to the power and promise of Balboa Park.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, Connie, if you don't mind, before we go over to Janessa with some questions here, talk about the mission of the Forever Balboa Park.
Forever Balboa Park is devoted to working with the city and community partners to care for and to activate and to enhance the public spaces of the park, the areas of the park that don't require any payment of admission and are free and open to all.
Exactly. And for those people that live in San Diego County, and there are some that have not been to Balboa Park, and we know that, just like there's some people that have never been to the beach and never been to the mountains and all that business. Find your way, however you can do it. Go by carrier pigeon, doesn't make a difference. This park is a jewel. It is ours. It's the everyone who lives in this region, and it is a beauty. Erin, I know you have a question for Janessa.
Yeah, absolutely. So your origins of the organization date back to 1923. How long have you been with the organization for?
Yeah, so I joined Forever Balboa Park back in October of 2022. So I've been with the organization for about 6 months.
Very neat. How's it special to you?
Yeah, so when I was looking to join Forever Balboa Park, I was really drawn in by the sustainability aspect. I'm really passionate about environmentalism and anything I can do to improve the natural health of the world and of San Diego. And we have a really great volunteer corps. We do a lot of community tree plantings. And so for me, that was one of the biggest appeals, is being able to be a part of an organization that's really focused on strengthening and growing San Diego's urban forests.
Well, it is beautiful. My daughters and I spend quite a bit of time down there in the park playing football or soccer. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great on this. In Connie, we made a reference when you were in last. It was a merger of two organizations. Talk about those organizations now making Forever Balboa Park.
Well, as Janessa shared, the roots of the organization go back to 1923, actually, when a group of volunteers got together as the Balboa Park Auditorium Society, I think. And the people who have been involved with the Balboa Park Conservancy and the Friends of Balboa Park are no different in that they care for the beauty and the sustainability of the park. And especially during the pandemic, it really made us consider what would be the best way for us to serve the park and everyone who loves the park. And that led us to the conclusion that we would be stronger advocates for the park by being together as an organization rather than separate.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, and I was honored to be a card-carrying member of Friends of Balboa Park. Thank you very much. I think I have the card somewhere stashed away on it, and I'm embarrassed to say I'm not yet a card-carrying member of Forever Balboa Park. I know that'll change very shortly because Neville will make sure it changes, and without question. Aaron?
Yeah, and Neville, you spoke about the Spark Awards. Could you tell us about that and how people can get involved?
Yeah, so it's an event coming up on March 29th. You can go to the Forever Balboa Park website, I'm sure, and there'll be information there. These guys can give you the actual web address because I'm not totally up on that one. The awards are recognizing different. Well, I don't want to give away the shop, and the winners haven't been notified. They're going to be notified like today.
Cool.
But the ideation around them, we're thinking about, again, the sustainability, the innovation, and we were looking not just for the typical usual suspects that inevitably do get the attention and awareness, but there's some really nice diversity of both the nominations and actually the winners is a really good representation of how all of us can participate in our own way, however big or small, to attend to this treasure that we all know as Balboa Park.
Oh, I love that so much.
So the date is what, Connie, of the Spark Awards, or maybe Janessa, you know which one? Janessa?
Yeah, so it's on March 29th from 5 to 7 p.m.
Right.
And it's going to be at the House of Hospitality's ballroom and courtyards.
Or exactly, is it a paid event? Is it a free event? And is it both of the above?
So it is a ticketed event.
Okay.
And we are welcoming everyone in the public to join us. It'll be a great way to learn not only about our organization, but as Neville kind of touched on, all of the amazing change makers that are doing great work in Balboa Park.
Right. And so someone signs up for this, they come to the event, what can they expect?
Yeah, so it's going to be a really fun event. There will be music. There's going to be a panel with CEO of San Diego Tijuana World Design Capital, Carlos de la Mora,
Nice.
along with our CEO, Dr. Elizabeth C. Babcock. So they'll be talking about innovation, and we will also obviously have the award ceremony where we will be recognizing 3 categories of awards. So enhancing ecosystems, which is really focused on people who have accomplished great work strengthening and improving sustainability and the environment in Balboa Park. We'll also be recognizing an awardee for igniting innovation. And this is really focused on, risk-taking, creativity, and imagination in Balboa Park. So really any kind of work that has expanded and amplified opportunities and brought in new ways of viewing and envisioning the park. The last award category that we'll be recognizing, and this one is my favorite, is the Crossing Boundaries Award. So this is meant to honor any individuals, organizations, or nonprofits that you normally wouldn't see working together who have found a way to collaborate and really bring new and innovative work to the park in a way that you maybe wouldn't have expected to see unfold.
And what goes along with collaboration is empathy, something that has dissolved in this world, and we need to bring it back. And that's a great opportunity to do that as well. Neville and I, every time I'm with Neville on a show, we got to make sure the word empathy is used somewhere in that time frame. We are chatting with our friends from Forever Balboa Park, Connie Matsui, Trustee, joined by Janessa Wheeler, an annual Giving and Stewardship Specialist. I'm honored to have with me a guest co-host, Aaron Tanner, a community advocate, and as always, my longtime friend and colleague, Neville Villamoria, Senior VP of CR and PR, Community and Public Relations for Mission Fed Credit Union. You're listening to Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Studio, and we are Studio Mission Fed Credit Union. We are in this great studio here in Scripps Ranch. Connie, I think it's the first time you've been here, correct?
Yes, it is, and it's a marvelous setup you have here.
We'll give all the credit over to Neville and Catalina and Courtney and everybody in between. The Mission Fed's just been doing spectacular work in San Diego for 60 years and continues to do that work. Talk a little bit about this. I'll start with you, Janessa, and then you can jump in, Connie, on the park-wide volunteer programs, garden stewards and tree stewards and all that business.
Sure, yeah. So our volunteer program has a core of over 300 regular active volunteers. And we have a couple different flavors of volunteers within this program. So we have our garden stewards who are helping to care for and maintain 80% of the park's gardens, our tree stewards who help us with maintaining all of our urban forest and also help out with tree plantings. In addition to that, we have our Rose Garden Corps. They look after the Inez Grant Parker Rose Garden. And we also have volunteers that are really focused on improving the visitor experience. So we do operate the visitor center down in the House of Hospitality. So we have a lot of volunteers that are giving out information and really helping visitors maximize their experience. I'm sure you know there's a million things to do in the park on any given day, which can be a little bit overwhelming for folks. So we really want to help make sure that people are able to enjoy their visit and get all of the information they need to do that. Lastly, we do also have a group of volunteers that are focused on the carousel. So we actually renovated the carousel and restored all of the animals, all of the historic structures. So we have a lot of really great folks in all areas of the park that are really helping us just keep the park looking great and keeping people informed about everything going on.
Right, and as San Diego County's consummate volunteer, Connie Matsui, will attest, the fact that, there's no such thing as too small hours to volunteer, right, Connie? If you can only do 1 hour a month, that's fine. Next month it might be 2. Next month it might be 5. Talk about how just get involved and be a volunteer is important.
Right. And there's so many different ways to benefit Balboa Park through your volunteer time and your skills. We have been thrilled to be joined recently by the Trees for Health volunteers. And we also started up a new group of trail stewards whose first job were as citizen volunteers to map the trails throughout the park, and then now they're helping to identify the areas that need to be shored up or improved for safety and enjoyment reasons. So it's ever expanding. We know that the volunteers who work with us feel very fulfilled by the work that they do. You can see it in their smiling faces when they're doing their jobs in the park. And we're also grateful to have received the recognition of the Points of Light Foundation as a certified service enterprise, which is a designation given to only 11% of the nonprofits in the United States.
Oh, wonderful. So you guys have a newsletter that comes out. How do we find that? And, donation information, advocacy, those types of things.
Yeah, so all of that good stuff can be found online at our website. It's foreverbalboapark.org. And you can sign up for our newsletter. You can sign up for our Love Balboa Park program, which is our membership program where you can get updates on community events and really deep dives into all of the projects we have going on.
That's terrific. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing spectacular work in San Diego for more than 60 years with our friends from Forever Balboa Park, Connie Matsui, a trustee, Janessa Wheeler, annual Giving and Stewardship Specialist, with Neville Villamoria, man around town in almost any great organization he touches will do very, very well, heavily involved with Balboa Balboa Park, Forever Balboa Park, and the Spark Awards. What date is that again, Janessa?
March 29th.
And then how do people sign up?
If you visit our website, it's the first thing you see, and you can click on our event page and find all of the details on ticketing and how to get involved.
So,
Drew, it's one of the few
please.
days I can remember because it's my birthday.
Really? Very good. 43?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. That
Come and celebrate. You heard there's live music too, so go.
Exactly. Is Neville's band going to be playing at this event?
Oh, I hope so.
That's right, exactly. Have to have a plug for your band, Neville. Matter of fact, we probably should have them in the studio one of these days playing. We'll have to talk to Catalina about that and see if we can make that happen as well. Connie and Janessa, we were talking about collaboration a little bit earlier, and sometimes that leaves us, people that work in silos in the 21st century will die in silos. We need to all work together on this. I'll start with you on this, Connie, and then go over to you, Janessa. How important is it to partner? And I know there's some partnership with the California Conservation Corps. Talk about that.
Yes, we are deeply grateful for our partners and collaborators, and there's so many examples I could give for the Spark event. In fact, we have sponsorships from the San Diego Foundation, and Janessa, maybe you could describe the rest, and then I'll talk a bit more about our other types of collaborations.
Yeah, so just to circle back to our collaboration with the California Conservation Corps. Right. So we recently sunsetted a project with this group to restore the 26th Street Trail and footpath. It was in pretty bad shape before we teamed up to lay down, a walking bridge, make it a little bit more accessible. And it was a really great project. It recently reopened to the public, and it was just a really great example of how important it is to seek out partnerships with organizations that are also looking to make a change in the park, and how we can really improve the connectivity of all the different regions of the park for the community.
And this was one of those examples where Forever Balboa Park was able to help expedite the work that was being done there because of the special permits that we enjoy with the city of San Diego and the Parks and Recreation Department.
Yeah, I know, Aaron, I know you dig a little bit deeper into the Points of Light global movement, correct?
Yeah, you guys have spoken about the recognition that you are going to be giving to others at your Sparks Award, but you guys are recognized quite often. Can you tell us about the Certified Service Enterprise and the Kaleidoscope Awards?
Sure, delighted to. The Service Enterprise program with the Points of Light Foundation is globally recognized, actually. And it requires a deep analysis of all the services and support that a nonprofit organization is providing to its volunteers, and then the implementation of an action plan for how to level up the volunteers' experience. We've actually this is the second time we've been certified as a service enterprise, so that we've done the evaluation now twice. And we're really proud that the second time around, we had some of the highest ratings ever in terms of the depth and breadth of the support, recognition, and training that we give to our volunteers. And then back in 2016, we had concluded another merger. I guess this is the epitome of collaboration, where organizations come together in order to do greater good. And our merger, the Balboa Park Conservancy merger with Balboa Park Central, which was responsible for visitor services and the House of Hospitality, was awarded the Kaleidoscope Award by the University of San Diego for good governance, for excellence in governance in terms of bringing two organizations together to, again, achieve more by strengthening to strengthening our mission together.
So I should know this, and I'm going to be embarrassed if I don't. Did that award come from the University of San Diego School of Leadership and Ed Sciences and the Nonprofit Institute?
Yes, it did.
Good, because I was on that board. And so, and I have nothing to do with it, trust me. If it was positive, I probably had nothing to do with anything for that matter. No, honored to be involved with the University of San Diego and Souls. It used to be called the School of Education, now the School of Leadership and Education Sciences and the Nonprofit Institute. And everybody is sitting at this table is very familiar with the great work that they do and well-deserved. Janessa, I was noticing that, one of the reasons why you love working for Forever Balboa Park is because you love sustainability. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So our tree stewards have actually also been recognized for having one of the best tree healthcare programs. And that honor was bestowed by the San Diego Regional Forest Council. And over the past 5 years, we've actually planted 578 trees, sequestering 50,000 pounds of carbon. And so just in itself, that is amazing, but it's also really wholesome to see community members who get to join us at these events when they get to learn about urban forestry and have a hands-on impact in helping sustainability in San Diego.
So do you have a science background?
I don't.
Yeah, you should. You're on your way to be, the head of some forestry division of someplace on that aspect of it. What got you interested in this?
Yeah. Well, I am originally from Northern California, from the Bay Area. And when I moved to San Diego, I was really looking to plant my roots into the community. And there's a really strong core of individuals and organizations in San Diego that are passionate about sustainability. So joining Forever Balboa Park made a lot of sense. It's, a large source and hub for natural resources. Right. And I just felt like I had to be a part of it. Right.
And I noticed you use the word, you planted your roots here or you're starting to plant the roots here in San Diego. Probably no pun, or maybe there was a pun intended in that. Erin, I know you got a question for Connie.
Yeah. What makes you most proud about being a part of this organization?
Well, I really didn't know very much about Balboa Park at all until I was invited to volunteer on the inaugural board of directors and for the Balboa Park Conservancy. And just every day I'm there, I think I discover something new and wonderful. And that's what it's been like to really learn to appreciate the unique history and the incredible diversity of experience that you can have within the park. And so I'm really proud to be associated with Forever Balboa Park, because one of the reasons I like the name is forever can also mean for everyone. And that really is what we intend, whatever your interests are, whatever your passions are, that you can find a way to really express those and to appreciate those within Balboa Park, including the opportunities for healthy and serene activities. So it's just an amazing place for so many reasons.
And I'm going to tee it over to my friend Neville on this, because he's always got some just cool things to say about this. And Neville, we talked about volunteerism, the epitome of mission-fed credit union. You folks don't believe in checkbook philanthropy. You believe in boots in the street philanthropy. You folks, whenever you sponsor something, you get everybody involved in the organization. Probably no different with Forever Balboa Park.
Well, yeah, as we heard and are experiencing today, your values matter, and your ability to behave into your values is what gives you fulfillment. So whether it's Janessa planting roots and sustainability, each of us have our own deep intrinsic needs that places and spaces like Balboa Park can fulfill. I think the big takeaways here is these are free. Everybody thinks about Balboa Park and thinks about what they're going to pay to do. People don't realize there's more museums than the Smithsonian and more square footage than New York Central Park right here, and it's free. So what are you waiting for? And in today's loneliness epidemic, one of the healthiest things you can do is get out in nature. It'll center you. You'll back to serene, right? And exercise. So whatever floats your boat, flips your switch. Balboa Park's probably got an opportunity for you to have heck of a good time, and it's right here. You don't have to go anywhere. People come from all over the world to do what you're about to do this weekend. Let's see you there.
And listen, Space Station Mir will take people that are floating around Mars, whatever the case may be on it. But, the point about it is it's our park, okay? And we need to be stewards of our park. And as Neville, you've been on the show before. We've had some wonderful groups on, Living Discovery Center and all that business, and these great groups, San Diego, River Valley Conservancy. Folks, if we don't take care of ourselves, okay, and these unbelievable natural treasures, they go away, they don't come back. And so this is so critical on this. We're chatting with our friends from Forever Balboa Park, Connie Matsui, a trustee, Janessa Wheeler, annual Giving and Stewardship Specialist, joined by my co-host doing a terrific job, Aaron Tanner, a community advocate, Neville Villamoria, the Senior VP of Community and Public Relations for Mission Fed Credit Union. I'll start with you on this, Janessa, and then tee it over to Connie on it. So what challenges, are really significant for the park, and maybe specifically Forever Balboa Park, that we can help with?
Sure. So Balboa Park is obviously the heart of San Diego. It's such an important resource for the community. And we know that it needs a lot of support and a lot of uplifting to be built up into a world-class destination. And that's why it's so crucial that, people from the community get involved and they find ways to support the park, because it's going to take all of us coming together to really, sustain this incredibly important resource for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Connie, anything to add with that?
Yeah, I think that in addition to being a world-class destination for so many reasons, it's important to appreciate the use of the park by many of the residents around the park who go there on a multi-day basis during the week, who appreciate the recreational activities that are there, who use the trails, who walk their dogs, who listen to music or play music, and so we really want people to be able to engage in whatever way is most meaningful and satisfying to them. As visitors, as donors, as volunteers, there's a space and a place for everyone.
No, that sounds great. Well, we're at the end of our program. It goes fast, as we all know on this. I'll just go around the room and see if there are any final comments. We'll start with you on that, Neville.
Well, as I said, I'm honored to support Connie, and particularly in this example, Forever Balboa Park. I hope people come out on March 29th to the Spark Awards. It'll ignite your passion and appreciation for this treasure that we have hidden in plain sight. And I invite everybody to get out this weekend and enjoy it.
That sounds great. Connie, any final comments?
Yeah, just appreciate the opportunity to be here, Drew, and look forward to keeping your audience informed of the anticipated growth of Forever Balboa Park, and for them to hear from our CEO, Elizabeth Babcock.
Absolutely. Janessa.
Yeah, I guess I just want to do a quick plug to an upcoming community tree planting we have on March 23rd. We'd love to have people get involved with that. And yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so happy I got the opportunity to come today.
It will not be your last. I'll guarantee that. Aaron, any final comments?
Oh, no, thank you. It's been a pleasure to meet all of you.
We're going to do this, and Neville knows this quite a bit. When we have organizations like Forever Balboa Park, we want to make them regular on the show. So count on that happening, minimum once a quarter, if not more. We're looking forward to having the CEO come on, but Janessa, you can probably be on every single day and talk about things that are going on and that aspect of it. So we will have you as a regular, if it's okay with you folks. We cannot talk enough about doing great things for Balboa Park.
Oh, absolutely. Consider
it a done deal. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and thanks for listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Federal Credit Union, doing spectacular work in San Diego for more than 60 years, and I'm sure they got another 60 years and another 60 years after that to go. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.